My class is for Spanish 1 as a high school teacher, and I used Google Classroom to create this. For the usability testing, I utilized some family members who are also educators, so they're in different fields of education though. I have one who is a social study teacher and coach in high school, one who is a social emotional learning and special education teacher, and another who does social emotional learning and is a school counselor. So they were able to look at my work from different viewpoints, and the two who are with the social emotional learning as well, they are at the elementary level, whereas the social studies teacher is in high school. I have been using Schoology for the most part for classes as a high school educator. However, I have also used Google Classroom, and since I was in a transition of moving campuses, I wasn't sure what I'd have access to, so I chose to do this on Google Classroom. I am very familiar with organizing these and have gone to many trainings on how to make Schoology specifically better, easier for student access, and how to set them up and make them engaging. I have also helped other fellow teachers with improving their classes online. For the test, I asked my testers to look over the website by starting with the Start Here section, and they did practice assignments and went through just everything as a student would kind of on their first time, checking through the Start Here module and really just seeing how they could access everything. As I stated, I created this on Google Classroom, so you can see that here now, and you can click on my class here. Hix a Spanish 1. So the students would come here, see the stream. I explained in one of the documents that I created how to get to different places here. So for the students to go to the classwork, this is where they're going to see everything. They'll see their start here, everything that can happen in there, their unit 1, unit 2, checked and reflect, more helpful information, and resources and support. In all of these, the students can click to open so they can see what's in there. So we have our welcome message, have our syllabus, navigating. That's a video on how to just go through Google Classroom. And then this one, with the request of my testers, I created the navigating this course to be more specific for this. Practice discussion and a practice assignment. I explained how in the units they can get to everything. So here they can go into their bell work and open this, and that'll open a file for them. That is where they can type in their answers for everything. Have their can-do statements just for them to view to see how they are, what they're going to be learning for the unit, the expectations of them. This is where they learn everything, their input. It's got some videos and slideshows, PDFs. I've got some practice things here that shows them what activities we'll be doing throughout the unit and has some games for them. Authentic resources are helpful for students to learn and see things in the moment. The communications, that is going to be activities for them to do, so they'll do videos and messaging. Once the class gets going, they would have more than one prompt, but these are their discussions. And I have finally their apply section. This is more like an assessment, the final assessment that shows everything that they've done through the unit and gives them an opportunity to show the knowledge that they've really learned throughout the entire unit. Using the available participants that I had to quickly identify the usability issues aligns with the best practices in iterative design, as even having a small scale test that can reveal the majority of usability problems. In the future, I'd like to improve that process by including a small group of students to test the course in real time, as they would provide more authentic feedback on navigation, engagement, and usability. I would also like to incorporate student surveys and observational data to better understand how learners interact with the program. Using Google Classroom positively impacted testing because it is a familiar platform for both teachers and students, and that reduced the learning curve and allowed testers to focus more on organization and usability rather than how to use the platform itself. However, it also limited some aspects of testing because Google Classroom has a much more linear structure compared to other platforms, which makes it a little bit more challenging for the organization and sometimes overwhelming if it's not carefully designed. This reinforced the importance of designing with clarity and simplicity in mind, as effective digital learning environments should prioritize the ease of navigation and reduce unnecessary cognitive load. One key lesson that I learned is that organization and clarity are critical for student success in an online or blended environment. Even if the content is strong, students can be overwhelmed or disengaged if the materials are not clearly structured. This aligns with usability principles that emphasize making systems intuitive and easy to navigate. I also learned that students need explicit guidance on how to navigate the course and to complete different types of tasks, such as discussion posts. Additionally, the feedback reinforced the importance of reflection as a learning tool, as structured reflection activities help students develop deeper understanding and take ownership of their learning. And you can see those here in the Unit 2 and Unit 1 progress and reflections here. Based on the feedback, I reorganized course materials to ensure everything was placed in a logical and consistent location, as clear structure improves usability and reduces confusion. I added a navigating this course guide to provide clear directions for students, supporting the need for explicit instruction in digital environments. I created a dedicate, check, and reflect portion to house all progress trackers and reflection in one place, reinforcing the role of reflection in learning. I also added a practice discussion with a supporting video to help students to better understand expectations for participation. Additionally, I streamlined the Start Here section by moving less essential items into the resources and support, and the new more helpful information module to reduce visual overload, which aligns with best practices in course design and usability. This process significantly improved the overall clarity, accessibility, and usability of the course. By simplifying navigation and reducing clutter, students will be able to focus more on learning rather than trying to find the materials. The addition of clear guidance and practice opportunities also helps reduce student anxiety and builds confidence, which is essential in creating effective digital learning environments. Overall, the course is now more student-centered, intuitive, and supportive of different learning needs, aligning with Quality Matters standards and emphasizing clear navigation and learner support. The testing process strengthened the alignment by ensuring that students can clearly see the connection between what they're learning, what they're asked to do, and how they're assessed. By reorganizing materials and clarifying navigation, activities and assessments are now easier to locate and understand within each unit. The addition of progress trackers and reflections also reinforces alignment by helping students monitor their progress toward learning outcomes and reflect on their understanding, which supports meaningful learning design. To address infrastructure and support needs, I have included multiple layers of support within the course. This includes the Start Here module, a practice assignment and discussion for skill building, and clearly organized resource sections for additional help. Providing multiple types of resources ensures accessibility and supports diverse learners, which is a key principle of effective digital course design. Additionally, organizing support materials into clearly defined sections aligns with Quality Matters standards that emphasize learner support and accessibility. Moving forward, I will continue to monitor student access to devices and provide flexible options along with ongoing guidance and check-ins to ensure all students can successfully engage with the course.